Hello, welcome to my studio and welcome to another edition of Art Discussion with me, Adelaide Demoa. I am an artist and I really enjoy speaking to other artists to find out how they overcome the challenges that they have to overcome on a daily basis in order to build sustainable careers for themselves. Hence this series, Art Discussion. I like to then package that information into video format and send it out to you in the hope that I'm able to inspire you and perhaps even help you to discover an artist that you haven't heard of and therefore promote the artist who I am interviewing. Today's interview is with a really lovely and extraordinarily talented young lady by the name of Ndidi Emefiele. Now, Ndidi graduated with a degree in painting from Delta State University in Nigeria in 2007 and completed her master's degree in fine art at the Slade School of Art in 2016. When she completed that, she was awarded the Olive Prize for Excellence in Painting at the Slade School of Art, which is a very prestigious painting prize. Ndidi has had several exhibitions over the years. Ndidi has a show on at the Rosenfeld Porcini Gallery in Fitzrovia, London, and it's on until the 15th of July 2017. It is called Loud, and I was interviewing her actually in the exhibition space, and that's why there's a little bit of noise, so please bear with us during the interview. Ndidi has developed a style which is instantly recognizable. Once you see it once, you know it if you see it again. She is very much focused on the female form, and she creates these characters which embody self-reliance and confidence, and with a complete absence of interest or concern for the male gaze, which is very inspiring. I will let Ndidi tell you a bit more about her work and introduce herself. Enjoy. I mean, you had an interest really early on, but when did you know this is what I want to do for my life?
Well, you know, it's kind of interesting, but I'd say really early, that early, because you know you have like relatives and friends of the family who would come to the house and what do you want to study, what do you want to eventually become in life, career path. I'd always say I want to be an artist. I was so excited at the idea of being an artist, but you have a lot of people who discourage you, like, an artist, are your parents aware of that? No, you can't be an artist. Artists are poor, artists are this, like you have to be, they tell you, oh, architecture is quite similar, you could go that route. You know, maybe you could even be a doctor and still be practicing, just do the arts, you know, at home as a hobby or something. So pretty early, I'd always thought I wanted to be an artist, but going into like high school, at some point I decided, well, maybe I'll just do something prestigious and a lot more prestigious and make my parents happy. Because my dad always felt I should have been a doctor back then, not anymore though. So yeah, I went into sciences for the first few months. Yeah, and it was obvious that wasn't where I belonged. So I went back to the arts department. Yeah, so
Is this at university?
No, this was in high school, but when you get to the senior class, you decide if you want to go through the arts or the sciences or the social sciences. And I was excelling in sciences, so a lot of people felt, okay, this is it, but I couldn't stop drawing everywhere on the walls. You know, then I think my sister's results, the one who used to get into the university, came out that time and she didn't do so well. My dad said, if your sister who studies couldn't pass so well, you that's always drawing, like there's no hope, just go back to the art class. So it was a good thing. That was when I went back to the art class, and when I got out of secondary school, I think that was my first and second choice in my application to the university, fine arts.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
Very
It's
good.
been a pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So I just knew this was it. It had to be arts or arts.
And that was in Abuja, right?
Yes.
And then you just finished the Masters at the Slade.
Yes.
Yeah? Congratulations.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so then when did you've had a lot of international exposure and exhibitions. When did that start? Considering you only graduated when?
Well, I graduated from Slade in 2016, which was last year. For my undergraduate, this makes it 10 years.
Okay.
So immediately I got out of undergraduate, did the compulsory national youth service. I opened my studio, and began making works, painting. But then I was doing more of landscape paintings because people around wanted to see pretty things. So paint landscapes, paint the nature, environment. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. So that's when I began and got galleries interested in what I was doing. And whenever they go for art fairs, they asked me to participate and show works there. And so that was how it started. But I knew I wanted to go to art school, and so I began to save up for it because you don't really have as much options as like when I was at the Slade. I had so many people who were able to get student loans, scholarships. You don't have options like that from Nigeria for the arts except for sciences. So all through the years I was able to save up for the Slade. And it was great going to the Slade.
So, okay, when you said that when you were in Nigeria you were getting art galleries interested in your work, how did you do that? Were you actually approaching galleries, or how did they find you?
I think I only approached the gallery once. That's when I was still in the university undergraduate, not when I'd finished. It was very little interest they showed in the works. Yeah, maybe one of them just bought one and gave me some peanuts. Yeah, but I was happy to make do with that at the time. Then. So when I got out, I didn't want to approach the gallery. I just wanted to start to see how I could stand on my own and survive. So you're able to rent spaces back at home, rent spaces, put up a show and invite the public. Yes, but most of the time I tend to look for spaces where busy areas where people could just walk in on their own. So that's what some of us were doing back at home, and so people begin to see your work. The work is out there, and the gallery is easy for them to also catch wind of it and come and approach you. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And then bringing us up to date, this show at Rosenfeld Porcini Gallery in Fitzrovia, how did that relationship with this gallery begin, and then we'll start looking at the work?
The director Ian and it was at the Slade graduation.
I see.
Yes, so they just walked in and I was just sitting by the corner, and they're looking at the works, talking about the works, and are you the artist? I'm the artist, and we began talking, and you just come to the gallery and see what we have there, and one thing led to another, and we're here. So,
that's amazing.
And it's been great. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I worked with a few galleries. They haven't been so bad. I haven't had a nasty experience, but this has been amazing.
Amazing in what way?
Pleasant people, very easy to deal with, very transparent, creating opportunities, and most importantly, the belief and faith they have in the work. Is just everything. I think
so important.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this show, which is just amazing.
Oh, thanks.
So good. I think I first saw your work I didn't actually see the work in the show, but with Mrs. Cooper at Gafra.
Yeah.
And so I've seen your, I've got some postcards and things there. Yeah, your work is instantly recognisable.
Thank you.
So when Georgia asked me to come and I saw your work, I said, it's this work. But yeah, so can you tell me about the work? Because, like I say, your style is instantly recognisable. And is the work in this show around a particular theme, or have you selected just specific works for the show?
Okay, so when I began making works for a show, I don't just. It's like when you start something, you have preamble, then you get into it. So I didn't just get into the zone with a particular. I began just making works that are not really in the show right now, so preparing myself for the later works I was going to make. But majority of the works here are positioned, the figures are positioned around the poolside. That's the central theme. The rainbows, which I like to call them, the figures I have here. It was more like a rainbow vacation, a holiday for them where they're just chilling, less work, having a good time, having a spa day, listening to music, loud music, which is obviously not allowed in the poolside, but they don't conform to social norms. They disregard some of the rules, that they're meant to follow. Yeah, so that's some of the works here.
Especially in Africa. Right?
Yeah, there's a lot of expectation of the woman, she's not expected to do this, to do that, be seen here, to put this on. Yeah, so I'm making figures, these women who disregard some of those. They are strong, self-reliant, and they don't conform to that. They have their own identity and they're their own person.
A lot of really strong feminist themes, which I love. And I'm struck by, especially the ones where you can see their faces. These ones, not, but the ones where you can see their faces. The way that you focus on the eyes, and then the round glasses, which remind me of yours as well. But yeah, the way that, is there a reason why you focus so much on the eyes?
It's the eyes, like it's always said, it's the window to the soul. That's where you get the emotions, when people are able to invite you with the eyes, you get a piece of who this person really is. So whenever I have the eyes there, sometimes even through the glasses, it still pierces into your soul, and I wanted to say something to the audience. I wanted to be able to connect with the work on a very personal level. So I tend to focus more on the eyes, and I still use the glasses to give them protection. Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel about wearing glasses as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Let's switch.
Interview over. No, seriously, it's like if I don't wear my glasses, even though I don't necessarily need them all the time, but because I'm short-sighted, but not drastically short-sighted, so I can get around without them. But if I don't have them on, I kind of feel a bit naked in a weird way.
I thought I was the only one who felt that way.
Really? Do you feel like that as well?
Like when I was at the sled and my tutor asked, I told her that she didn't understand. I don't think she understood what I was talking about, because the way she looked at me like, are you really okay? I feel totally naked. Like it got to a point that I'd rather forget my phone at home than forget my glasses at home.
Yeah.
Oh. That's
literally like there's been times when I've been running out the door and I've got to the front door. Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? I was like having a panic. It's serious. So I get it. The glasses thing, I get it. But
I'm glad someone gets it and gets where I'm coming from.
Yeah. So to see it in the work like this is just I love it. Brilliant. Okay, so on to just thinking about the sort of challenges that you've had to overcome in order to get to this point. What would you say was the most insurmountable thing, the biggest thing, and what steps did you take to overcome it? Because you obviously did, because you are here.
I'd say, like the space I was back home before coming here, probably getting people to understand what it is you're making. People didn't get my point of view, I'd say. I feel it wasn't as traditional enough as they would want it to be, or it would be to their understanding. So I think a lot of people struggle with that. So then I'll have shows, and I won't call them, I won't say they were successful, People just looked at them, they thought the females looked strange, they were weird. It was just a gradual process, but I think that was one of the challenges. Then being a female also makes it harder, I think. Because they don't give you a chance. You just consider the mediocre before. So it got to a point that I'd rather send works for the exhibition and not be there. So I want them to encounter the works before they get to meet you. Because when they meet you before the works, their minds are already turned on how to receive the works. Being female makes it a lot harder. Makes it like twice as hard.
I agree. And it's bad enough in the UK, that kind of misogyny and that kind of sexism, the statistics prove that things are much more difficult for women than for men. But I noticed but my family's from Ghana, and I was in Ghana just before Christmas, and that kind of thing where it's so much more difficult for female artists than it is for male artists to make and to be even taken seriously.
Yes.
You're speaking to a gallerist and he's looking at you like, and then he talks to a guy and it's all of a sudden, what do you do? But as a woman, they don't know anything about you, and they don't know your website, they don't know your work, but they're immediately making the assumption that you can't be that good just because you're female.
That's very true. Like back at home, you have female artists have to come together to set up associations where they could create opportunities for themselves, because you find exhibitions whereby they're not willing to feature a woman's work in quotes, a woman's work. So yeah, that's.
So I see that you're a part of a Nigerian Female Artists Association.
Yeah, it's one of the back at home. In order to have, when I began to show works, you have to sort of be in some associations where you could have group shows with your fellow artists. Yeah, but these days I'm not as active as I used to be because I'm mostly like away. Yeah, but they're still doing a good job.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I'm a part of a collective as well, a female collective. But anyway, we'll discuss that after. Yeah. In terms of achievements, and there have been quite a few, what would you say was the biggest thing for you, the most exciting, and what steps did you take in order to achieve that thing?
I feel I'd probably be most excited when I make that painting I'll consider my best work. Yeah, but so far I think at the SLAID, being given the Olive Prize for Excellence in Art, it's different when you're in a space like back at home and you think you're doing okay. Then you come to like a different space, you don't know how well you're going to fare, how well you're going to do there. You just don't want to drown. Yeah, and so coming there and meeting people from different environments, coming from top universities, and you're still able to do well in the mix, So I think that was very exciting. And having the works being recognized as good painting, because the Olive Prize is given for excellence in painting. I think getting that recognition sort of made the experience even more worth it. So, yeah.
Amazing. Congratulations on that, by the way. I read that and was super, super impressed.
So, you read a lot.
Yeah, I did. If you could go back in time to when you graduated 10 years ago, what advice would you give yourself?
Just be free. I think be very free, because I was so controlled in my approach to work. I was so bothered about what people thought about the works. Do what you feel like doing, regardless of what no one thinks about them. Yeah.
Amazing. And finally, what advice would you give to somebody who's graduating right now? What advice would you give them for going forward in their art career? Completely green, new person.
Get inspired, but get back to the studio and make your own work. Don't make somebody's work. I think a lot of young artists tend to, go out there and come back and replicate stuff. Just enjoy the whole process. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Congratulations again on the show.
Do we have to stop now? Can we just
you want to continue? It's cool.
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so the show is on until 15th of July 2017. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hello, welcome back. Thanks very much for joining me for that edition of Art Discussion with Ndidi Emefiele. If you'd like to see the show and you're watching this during the time span that it's on, which is up until the 15th of July 2017, please do go into the description bar below this video and you'll find all of the details for the gallery and for the exhibition itself. If you're watching this after that date and you're still interested in Ndidi as an artist, then all of the information again is below in the description. Please do subscribe to the channel, because by subscribing you get to keep up to date with all of the latest exhibitions like this one. If you like the interview, if you like the video, then do give me a thumbs up, because it really helps me out. It really helps me to grow the channel, which in turn helps to promote the artists who I am interviewing. Until next time, take care. Bye.